Welcome to Bricolage Daily. This is Lori, and this is my channel, Bricolage with Paint Girly. I've been wanting to use these file folders that I have in my stash for some time and do a little something with them. And I just decided this morning I feel like messing around with them. Not sure where we're going to land, but we'll investigate this together. This is kind of the idea. This I put together at the inspiration of Rosemary Morris, the Rusty Peacock. If you're not familiar with her channel, you need to find her. I'll put a link in my description box. And I'm sure I didn't put it together correctly because mine is a little flimsy, but that's okay because then I can bend, these around and work in them. But file folders are really kind of fun to have available and to work on them. And I think sometimes maybe um, we might have some in our home offices, or maybe you have, I don't know, something you got from your doctor's office. See, I don't throw anything away. But these file folders, I'll tell you how I got them in just a minute. But if you follow Kathy Arbor, that's another YouTube gal. She often will do art on file folders. And so the combination between Kathy Arbor and Rosemary Morris, I started to work on file folders. And they're really a good substrate for a lot of different things. So I wanted to have something different and maybe put together a little different, and I think a little smaller. So these file folders, my middle sister, Nancy, had a file folder business whereby they supply doctors' offices with file folders. Of course, a lot of doctors' offices now are going electronically, but you can see where this one has some damage, right? So they couldn't use that. So I got to be the owner of a lot of file folders. Now they all have this clip in it too. Now I'm not interested in that clip. So what I want to do is I want to break these down, and I'm just Bricolage Daily um, is something I'm trying to see how well it's received on my channel. And it's just me working at my desk on something. So that's what I'm going to do today. This isn't going to work that way. I'm not sure my cutter's going to go through. Well, it probably will go through. I don't know if I have the strength in my arm to push it through those two layers. Let's just see. Let me put these over here. So I want to get rid of that. Now, a lot of times I'll just rip that metal piece off. Oh, yes. Oh, that's good. Okay. So now what I want to avoid is that little skid mark there if I can. Now, of course, if I could art right over that, couldn't I? Hmm. See, the other thing to think about are tags. You could make your own tags with file folders. So I'm trying to decide how I want to cut this in order to then maybe make use of the leftover bits without throwing a lot away. See, I don't want my journal to be real long, I don't think. And tags, I think, need to be longer than I have tons of these. I don't really have to. I'm also thinking when I put it together, see, I can use that as my signature, right? And then stitch it together. Let's see, where does that come in? That comes in right about there. I want to leave a little bit underneath of it. All right, so let's try. I might possibly be thinking about this too much. Move my coffee out of the way might be good. Okay, so let's see. I want to include, let's try 6, maybe 5.5. I don't want to cut all the way across. Also, that would be a good tag, wouldn't it? Let's just do it. See, I stopped there for a minute. It kind of made it like a skid mark. See, this can be cut into a tag, and that piece, so that's good. And this could be a smaller tag. Actually, I could cut that right off. That part. Let's see. So what did I say? 5.5? It's about 5.5. 5.5 by 5. Let's do that. That would make a nice little art journal, right? Now the other thing about the file folders, you have these automatic little places to fold, you know, where you can gain some space. All right, that's what I'm going to shoot for. I think this is a fun size. So I have several of them, so let's get them cut. Now, Bricolage Daily, I have not discovered yet how to fast forward my video. So if you need to fast forward, you're going to have to do that on your own if this drives you crazy. But this is just real-time stuff while I'm working at my desk. All right, so this way I made it 5.5. Correct? Correct. And this way 5. Now this is gonna be chubby. I'm okay with chubby. Chubby, chubby, chubby. And it doesn't have to have a lot of pages, right? So this, I'm just eyeballing this to get rid of that clip. You're probably sitting and watching me and saying, why do you keep twirling it all the way around? So it's because I'm a little dyslexic with stuff, and this, I'm just doing what makes most sense to me. And I think this one I'm going to have the little skid mark on the edge. See, this one's in a different spot, it looks like to me. Look, I did it. How did I measure it different? I thought I did 5. No, I did 5.5 by 5.5. Whoops. All right, I have not thought about what size I want the journal, but see, you can sketch in this. I'll be able to put watercolor, acrylic. I think this is the way I want it, 5.5 this way. And then 5 this way. Yeah, because this these file folders were just going to go in the dumpster. you know, because they couldn't use them for a client. See now how it's going to start to belly out because of the thickness of the folder. My brain's going. What I'm thinking about is, do I want the cover a little longer so I don't see that? Or do I come back and trim a little bit off of the inside pages? I do want it to be somewhat chunky. But I'm thinking just one signature, to be honest. I don't know if I'm coming down with something. I've been sneezing a lot, and that got kind of crooked. It's all right. I have a little bit of a dry tickle. I don't have allergies, but at least I don't think I do. All right, I just gave that one a little trim. I think I pulled out 8 of these folders. Oh, look where that hole is, right there. The thing is with the guillotine cutters, you have to kind of move the blade and keep pushing it towards the board, which I don't always do. It doesn't feel like it's lining up correctly. Let's go this way. Yeah, for some reason I'm not cutting straight. I'm not sure why. Maybe we'll do a little trim. I'm gonna see if I got that straight. And it could be somewhat because it's doubled. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, I want it chubbier than that. I haven't done a Bricolage Daily for a little while because, oh no, see, this is going to cut right through and then be on the, all right, let's see how I make out with this one. This one may not work. I don't mind the hole, but I don't want it at the bottom of the page where it makes a chunky chunk. Although that would be very, yeah, this one's going to be a little more narrow. That's okay. I can use it that way. 5. Because things have been getting crazy again. Things started to settle down for me a little bit, but then they ratcheted up again. So I just really, other than doing my live streams, haven't been really at my desk that much. Uh-oh. Look what I did, kids. I forgot to take that Wah, wah, wah. Forgot to take the metal bracket off. See, this is what happens when I jibber jabber too much. Okay, so let's do this bottom half, 5.5. I'm just gonna make it. All right, let's see what I think about this. Now this is really a size where I could throw this. Of course, I carry a great big handbag, but I could really throw this in and take wherever, you know, or keep in a car if I want to sketch somewhere, or if I'm somewhere waiting. Now I'm thinking, oh, I'm out of frame. Sorry about that. Let me adjust my camera. I'm thinking a couple of things. I'm thinking if I fold, but that's on that side, it could be like a waterfall type of journal. That might be cool. All right, so let me get rid of my trash here. See, this is all good stuff. This little skinny bits, no. Although, nope, that's got the clip. Let me make two little. You can take two little files, but see, this stuff I can use to make tags or clusters, right? Bookmarks. That's the clip. Clip, clip, clip. Okay. Gosh, if anybody can tell me why they think I get that kind of louvered look when I'm recording, I would love to know. Obviously, it's got something to do with lighting, but I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to deal with it. Okay, so I'm thinking before I put this together, sometimes just a blank substrate is a little difficult to work with, right? So I'm thinking I want to put something on here to just so it's not blank. And I'm trying to decide whether I want to go watercolor or if I want to go coffee. Watercolor is right here. My coffee is in the refrigerator. Or I could do, here's some coffee. Oh, I think this was coffee. This is, look, my hands are purple. My fingers are purple. I have no idea why. Huh. Let's try this. I wonder where I put my, well, I have a ShamWow towel that I like to keep here to catch wet messes. But I haven't dyed that in a couple of days, so I'm not sure where I put it. Let's see if I can find it. See if I can find it right quick. Nope. Hmm. Hmm. I know I did wash it. Well, not wash it. I rinsed it out. It's usually right there. Well, we shall live without it. The other thing is, I'm wondering where I put my paper toweling. Hmm. Well, all right. This is a mini, like a mini mister. A lot of times the like the distress spray stains, they don't spray so great for me, and they kind of get all bloppy. So I was thinking about using um my jelly plate that I chopped up. That's what I was thinking. Now I have the smaller jelly plate, and I was wanting smaller bits, and I didn't want to pay for smaller bits, and I have the great big jelly plate, which, you know, I can do different size things on it. So I decided to chop up my small one. I'm not recommending that to you. You got to do what works for you. But I got to be honest, I'm very happy that I did it. Very happy that I did it. All right, so this has got a honey. I'm going to do a sample. Let's just see. I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to just do a little sample here and see how I like it. Now I can do one of two things. I can just spritz it on. That might be a bit too much. I mean, it looks okay. But what if I put some water in addition to that? I mean, that's a lot of product. Again, see, it's just a solid mass. It's not, I don't think it's the look I'm going for. That's a little better. But I'm thinking I don't want it this yellow. I'm thinking I want it more of a brun. So let me get a wipe here. Let's clean that off. See, when I started this morning, I wasn't sure which direction I was going to head. Now that's my coffee. I keep getting it on my finger. Now that's very subtle. Let's see what happens if I just go with this on. That's the yellow. Just spritzed onto it's called, oh, what the heck is it called? Honey something or other. I don't think it's honeycomb. Wild honey. This is what's in that little spritzer. Distress stain wild honey. I thought I picked up the coffee one. This is almost dry. gosh. I think I'm just making it worse. I don't know which direction I want to go in. I had a couple more of those filled with, see, now this is different. Let's see, what was in here? They're little, so I didn't mark them. Do you do this kind of thing sometimes? Do you just sit down and start working with something at your desk or your workspace, wherever you work? Let me dry these up a little bit. This is not too bad. So I want to get some of that. I want to get some space in between. I don't want it to be solid like that. At least I don't think that's what I want. All right, we're going to use the flip side of these. I don't remember what this is. Oh, black. I didn't remember doing black. I don't think I want black for this project. It's easy to make a mess. This is got some kind of shimmer in it, I think. I'm not even sure if this will spray. This was a pretty blue. When I spritz with that, it's getting all over my finger. That's not doing it for me either. I don't really want to use them or leave them plain. Where's my scene? I don't know what I'll end up doing with it going forward. So I want to put something on it that in most cases is not going to move. At least I think that's what I want. Let me see. I have my ink tints colors up here. And I do have there are some nice browns. So maybe I'm just going to go with this. All right, let me move this stuff over. I'm going to turn this way. Get my coffee out of the way. Do a little rearranging here. So you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to take some water and mist these brown colors here. Let them soften up a little bit. And then I'm going to look for a watercolor brush. Yeah. I don't want to drip my paint water in my coffee. So let's move that. Now what I'm going to do is just start taking some of this. Now when I put it on my jelly plate, I'm not sure you can see it, because it's water, it kind of beads and goes away from itself, which sometimes gives you, a nice look as far as the background. Now, see, now that I like. So that's what I'm going to do. But see, look, it picked up some of the blue. It picked up some of the other stuff that was on the plate, which is kind of cool too. And I'm not really going to get that if I don't put it on there, right? So let's go up here and grab, just going to put a little bit of that on. Then I'm going to just grab some different browns. And then I'm going to just start picking some of that up. If I put my hand there, if it makes a difference. I like that. Can you see? Okay, let's put that up. And I'm going to do them all the same. For the most part, at least that's the plan. Might add a little bit of this. I'm assuming that's a darker brown. This is going to go into maybe the grays. And I think I want to stick more with the blue. And then this time I'm going to put some additional water. My little piece of jelly plate I pulled out is not quite, let's see, that was too wet. Not quite wide enough, so I'm getting that edge. Not liking that, so I want to go back. Now, my friend Gail tells me that my Inktense paints here are not true watercolors. They're more like a gouache. But it gives you that watercolory look, that see-through transparent look. And then when this dries, it will be permanent. Which in this case, that's what I'm going for. Because I don't know what I'm going to do in this little journal. And let's try going this way. I'm still going to be short. I could also spritz these. Not spritz. Like try to do a spatter. Oh yeah, that got all over. It just went right up in my face. Right in the face. I see a wild hair on my brush. We can't be having a wild hair, can we? A little more intense color, I think. That's better. Now, one of my journals that I really enjoy, I called it my Not So Daily journal. What I did was I just took a store-bought book. It wasn't really a journal, it was just like a little notebook, I would call it, a little notebook. And, oh, I don't want that green. I want more of the tealy blue. And I went through and I treated all the pages first before I started to work in it. And I really like that. I can show you that. So then I didn't really have to think about it, right? I had it out the other day. Let me see if I can grab it without knocking the camera. Or knocking a light down. Oop. Nope. Nope. Sorry about that, guys. Struggling here. Goodness me. Well, this is what happens on a daily basis. I'm not crazy about the cover. I got to do, but see, I just went through and added color. Now this one, of course, is all different. But then when I see something that I think will go with a page, I just can come in and plop it in. Now this is all over the map. What was I putting in here the other day? Oh, this, when we did the embossing stuff. So I just picked this out because I thought it went with that page. This, I put a little pocket in here. See, because the colors went with what I have on that page. So it's something for you to think about if you've got something like that laying around and you're not quite sure how you want to use it. I should have gotten some clean water. Now I got to do the other side too, right? And you don't have to do watercolor. You can spray with this with coffee that you keep in your fridge. That's what I have in my fridge. You can do that. You can use watered down acrylic if you want a see-through look. You can use straight up acrylic. And maybe you like I mean, not that I don't like them. I just can't get my sprays to spray on the way I want. They're too intense. Now, the other thing is Tim Holtz uses his glass mat, and he kind of like smacks and drags. And Dee Dee Willingham, that's another channel where you'll get a lot of great tips and ideas. She does a smack and drag, slap and drag, or slap and dragon. I don't know what she calls it, but I'm not so good at that. Mine kind of ends up looking like roadkill. All right, so now I want to come back and do the back side. The ones I did first should be dry, so I'm just restacking here. do more of the same. Let me put them over here. That worked out okay. So I'm going to stay in the same color palette mostly. That one turned out pretty cool. Got a little muddy. It's a little muddy. A little muddy. Now I'm already thinking about my edges because I'm not going to like my edges the way they are. I can just tell you right now because I know myself. And I'm thinking it would be easier if I inked my edges before I put my book together. Doesn't that make sense? It does to me. It does to me. Inking takes time. Sometimes we may not feel like doing it, but the end result for me is just over the top. I have to say, it's over the top. Spritz a little water on that. Oh, look, I have a little tear there. That kind of looks cool, though, doesn't it? Now my mind's already racing. I'm thinking, what if I put some stamped images on as well? Before I put it together. Then I have a really good base. Really good base. Oh, it's got a big lumpity dump. Trying to get some more of this yellowy mix in those browns. May not be the greatest idea, but it's giving me some different looking backgrounds, which is what I want. So, you know, this will get a little warped, but see, it'll straighten itself out. Or I can hit it with the heat tool, and that will straighten some of it out as well. Let's go diagonal on this one. See how that looks. Cool. Cool. Now, if you've seen enough of this, just fast forward to the rest of the video. So I'm not driving you crazy. Oh, this is my last one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Grab a little green, little blue. Get this medium kind of brown in here. Whoa, that one's really got blasted. See, but I like this. Look how this, see how that edge, I don't want to mess with that. I want that to dry like that. See, that's a cool part. You don't really know what you're going to get. Of course, one of those is going to be my cover. All right, let me grab another baby one. Clean up my little plate. Now I want to leave my paints open, so I'm just going to set them like this up on my shelf because I want that to dry before I put my lid back on, because they will get moldy, or they could possibly get moldy. Our weather is cooler now, so it might take a little more, but I think, and I really should leave this open as well so my plate dries. So I'm going to sit this over here and let that be open. Let that dry a little bit. Clean this up. All right, now I'm going to get out my, oh my, I'm going to get out my blending tool and my vintage photo. And do I have my, yeah. Let's see if I can. This is just an old piece of chipboard, really, that I had started to design for a, not design, put together for a journal back when I first started to do paper art. And it just comes in handy with inking. Sometimes your paper, your substrate's a little flimsy, right? This is still a little damp. Let me see if I have a drier one. Let's try this one. And so sometimes if your paper is a little flimsy and you give it a little more support, it's a little easier to ink. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through, put a little ink on those really kind of stark corners and edges of some of these. Not some of them. I'm going to do all of them. And then what I'm going to do is I think I want to make it like a waterfall. I'm just looking at my time. I'm already messing around with this. It's been an hour. But you know what? If you don't want to watch, I guess you can just go, right? Because I wanted to show you how I'm going to put it together. I think I'm just going to use a simple pamphlet stitch. But I also want to stamp some some images or something on them to kind of get them going. But I just feel like it's going to be a lot easier doing that if I do it before I assemble the book. I don't even know how many pages I actually have. See, I'm just where this, it's real bright. I don't know if you can tell. Let me put this light on. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. It's just a little bit on the edges here. Whoops. Got that one. Bent that one up a little bit, kids. Oh, baby. Just a little bit here and there. I think I have a teal color wax linen that I can use to stitch with. I can feel some of these are damp. Now I'm trying to think what stamps I have right here in my drawer. I'm thinking I wanted to use maybe a brick pattern. And of course some of my script, some French script. Just something, you know, something simple. Of course, if you don't have a lot of stamps, you could use stencils. You could add some stencil bits on these pages. And you could put your book together and do this too. I just think a lot of times I put a journal together, and for me it's art journaling. It's not like a diary type journal. It's just, sometimes it just gets a little fiddly doing some stuff, and it wants it together. Now this won't be too terribly bad because it's just going to be one signature, and it's just going to be the file folders. And I can always add some of this inking, you know, if I desire. But inking the edges of your pages, that's really a pain. It's a pain in the tush once it's together. Now I think I'm going to use my Midnight Blue Stays On ink to add a few things. Just a few. I'm going to see what I have in my drawer. I straightened up the other day, so I put a lot of my stamps away because I had a big old mess. Big old mess. My hands are a mess. Okay, coming down the home stretch. I mean, ideally you start out on the edge and you come in towards the center of your piece to ink your edges. That's the way you're supposed to do it. But sometimes we're in a hurry. Because I think for most of us, you want a graduated kind of look. You don't want a big streaky line. At least I'm thinking. Gosh, I just had another thought. See, when I'm looking at this and I see that, now that I'm looking at it, it's like a little peephole. What if I made peepholes in some of these? Oh, maybe it's my brush. I want to make sure I do that. Yo! So whatever I do on this page is going to peek through on that page. These are definitely damp. There's another crusty bit there. What if I did one where it's off the edge? Now I got another place that it's something's going to peek through. Let's do, you could do different shapes too, but I'm not going to dig out the rest of my, the rest of my punches. Oh, I was just thinking I could draw an eye and then have an eye peek through. Okay, enough of that craziness, huh? Huh? I have to decide what's going to be my color. All right, so now let's put this away. And I'm going to grab my Midnight, I hope. I don't know how juicy that is. I'm not sure how juicy. Let's see what we got here. Script. I kind of like that road trip. Definitely like that. There's my brick. I don't want to get too carried away. I do like this one though, and I don't have to have it on every page, right? Right. So let me re-ink this while I'm thinking about it. I have my re-inkers right here. Gothic Purple, Midnight Blue. Now, Tim Holtz puts some in the middle, I believe. And then he uses a credit card and moves it out to the side, but I'm not going to do that today. I mean, this is really drinking it in. So I think it was ready for reapplication. Looked very thirsty. I don't want to put too much in there. A little bit goes quite a ways. Now I can use some of these pieces as, you know, a tester. Just a little something, something. Every time I use my brick stamp, I have that song in my head. She's a brick house. This one I'm going right across the center. It's starting to shape up. I've gotten away from using the block, which is not, I don't think, a great thing. Maybe I want this one coming in from this side. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Then I've got all these. Let's see what I have in here. I have this tin up here where I'm putting the stamps that I use on a more regular basis. Oh yeah, I really like these. That's the alphabet and some numbers. Definitely like the honeycomb. Boy, these are some cool ones. I got to say, and that's kind of cool just to do all the words. And let's get let's get these fellas. Somewhere I put my little tiny ones, like that have the numbers and stuff, like the specimen. Not sure where I threw those. Oh, they might be, okay, they might be in my drawer. Let me get, I'll just get that. See the one I'm thinking about. Let's get that one out too. I'm going to end up stamping on all the pages anyway. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Let's get these fellas. I don't know if that sticks anymore. Not really. Not really. Let's do These are all just a bunch of different sayings. And I don't necessarily need this to stamp where you can read it. I just want the idea of that behind these fellas. Say like that. You can just barely see it. I like that. And then we'll ink these boys up. See how they look. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then I'm going to put them right on top. Kind of off to the side, but on top. Ah, it fell off. So it's going to be crooked. Lovely. Lovely. Honeycomb. Just little portions of it here, there, and everywhere. Random. And then I'm going to take the numbers. These are still sticky. And these, I don't care if it prints real solid. It can be a little faded. That's cool. Oh, I have to treat all these, I guess, again. I don't know. They don't stick. Okay. Passenger's coupon. So over here, I'm going to use my road trip. Now, the truth of the matter is, if I go to work on one of these pages and I don't like what I put on it, I'll just glue something on top of it, you know? You know? These are just file folders that we're going to be put in the trash. That's a cool stamp. That's cool. Now I still have the other side to do. Right? We still got this side. You're still with me? Or have you given up the ghost? And she's a brick. Oh, I forgot I put this one in my drawer. This stamp is called Le Blanc. And they're really nice. They're very expensive if you happen to find them anywhere. I guess you can look them up. But I like to buy everything discounted. I've been living with my husband too long. Oh yeah, that's cool. See, I forgot I had that. That's a cool stamp. I love it. I absolutely love it. See, what do we have in here? This is another like scrungy blotchy kind of thing with a little number. Nice. Nice. Oh yeah, this is a good one. See, it's just lines. Can you see? It's just like scratch marks. Well, I've got my splat over here. I like this too. So once you get going, you can really start cooking. So then I'm just going to take my pokey tool, pop a couple of holes, and stitch it together. Should be easy. I wonder if I'll get any of an imprint on this one. This looks cool. I'm not sure that this is going to turn out real well. Let's see. There's a piece of scrap. I still have quite a few. Well, I don't need to stamp on all of them. Let's just do... haven't used this one in a while. I've got a lot more stamps that I'd like to use in here, but I don't want to drag them all out. And I can always add. I don't know about that. Let's see. We'll just hit it a little bit, and maybe I'll put it up in the corner. Yeah, that's better. Let's go this way. That's better. That's not too bad. See what I do? I haven't cleaned them all. I've got to get some Murphy's oil. But see, that's a really cool stamp, but who knows how it's going to, because Lori put it in paint. And she doesn't clean up after herself. I'm trying to be better. I'm doing a little better, I have to say. Not too bad. Let me spritz this. I know I just stamped it, but let me spritz it with a little water and see if I can get a little more on this one. Oh, that looks cute. Hold on, let me get a little more over here. you'll be able to pick up on that. It's just real subtle. Okay. Gosh, I hit something going back in the drawer. All right, so now I want to fold these because I'm thinking about so they'll be offset. That was not closed. I've got stamps on the floor. All right, these are my little, I'm trying to find the lid. These stays on, dries out pretty quickly, so you want to try to keep that capped up. All right, let's see. What do I want for my cover? I kind of like this one with the zhuzhed little cut there. All right, so let's fold these. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is not cooperating. I want to get my bone folder and really crease them. This is going to be one of the craziest journals I think I've ever made. This one I can't even see where the folds are. I've got it so decorated. Maybe we'll do that regular. This one I already folded. I'll fold that one this way. That looks kind of cool. See, because you can see the honeycomb. All right, let's use this for the center. Maybe this should be my cover. Because this is sticking out. See, this is what I'm thinking. If I put these different folded, this one's, of course, this one's the smaller one. Remember, I cut that one, it was smaller. If I fold this and I have that be where I'm going to join these together. That's just regular. I think I want one there. See, they're going to be all different. That's all right. Something different, right? Oh, I folded the guys. Yeah, I don't know if I want them folded. I want them all on one side, I think. Now, where's that little... This one I wanted in the center because I want to see, when I close that page, I want to see that little honeycomb there. So if I stitch it together this way, Yeah, that might be cool. And then I could probably put a different kind of a cover on it. I'm rethinking that honeycomb one because that really sticks out far. Let's see. Let's fold it on that other line. See, because of the file folders, they're already creased there for me. Oh, now this is when I wish you were here live so I could get some feedback. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need to clip these. Just to hold them together. I don't have to be perfect because this is, just a different kind of a journal where it doesn't have to be perfect. And let me get my wax linen. See, and I have this nice dark teal, and I think that's what I'm going to use. Now, do I want my thread on the inside or the out? Do I want an innie or an outie? This isn't going to take much. It's just going to be a simple pamphlet. I'm just going to do that. And I need my pokey tool or an awl, if you have an awl. My awl makes a great big hole. So I don't always use that. I'm going to put my thread right back in my jar. This is that, that ice cream, that Talenti gelato. It fits several spools of wax linen, if you're wondering about that. So I'm just going to poke 3 holes, and I'm going to see if I can just do it on my own. I'm just kind of twisting. Actually, oh, my camera really doesn't like that today. There we go. Just have to be careful. And then I'm going down towards the bottom. I'm just twisting it back and forth. Just like this, back and forth, back and forth. Now you may have more strength in your hand. You can just pop it right through. But these are, it's file folder, so it's thick. And I think I want my, I am so sorry. I think I want my thread in the center. I don't think I want it on the back side. All right. Now I need to find a big needle. I have needles right here. I've got these curved needles. I don't wonder, have you ever used one of these? Let me try this one. See, because they've got they've got a big eye. Better to see with. So if I want my tie, am I not in the center? I'm going to start in the inside. And I'm going to start in that center hole. I have no idea why my camera is doing that, but it's making it more difficult. Okay. It started to go through, but see, I've got that curve. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to leave myself a tail. This is where I need to get my little pinchers, because I've got no grip. I've got no grip left. This is much longer than I wanted it to be as far as my video. All right, so I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail because I want to be able to tie it. And then you just come to either the top or the bottom. There are tons of videos on the internet for doing this pamphlet stitch. My hand is slipping. I feel like it's going through, but it's not really. There it goes. I guess these are upholstery needles. I can't imagine using these all the time. I forget why I got them. Somebody enabled me. And now I'm going to go, see, I pulled that a little bit, down to the bottom one. I'm just kind of giving that a wiggle so all my holes line up. I'm going to go off camera here so you're not blinded. Oh my gosh, it's even doing... I guess my camera doesn't like to work on Saturday. That could be. That could be. Maybe the curved needle is an acquired taste. I have a little bit of an issue there trying to pull that through. There we go. I can take my clip off there. It's in the way. So you want to just pull it so you're not wrinkling anything. Now, you'd really have to yank it to wrinkle cardstock. But you just want it nice and tight. And then you're going to come back into that center hole. And you're going to try to avoid piercing that thread, because then you have a hard time pulling through. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of this curved needle. But see, I don't know what I did with all, and I must have my, oh, there's a big one. I must have all my larger needles in. Oh my goodness, there's one. I just happened to think, I bet you I have them in a pincushion. And I do, right in front of me. I'm a silly, silly gal. It's not going through. I have to wiggle. I'm not ending up in the same spot. That's gonna have to do, kids. It's gonna have to do. I just want it so my pages don't come apart. Now I like to put my one thread on one side of my center thread and then one on the other. Just make sure it's nice and flat. You don't have any loopity-doops. And then give it a tie. Now you can put a bow or whatever you want. I'll do that. Give that a little trim. Boop. Now let's see what we got here. I feel like my camera has gotten crooked. So I think this is going to be fun to work in. Cool, right? I like it. The camera does not. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Leave me a message if you got any questions. Let me know what you think. This is a little outside the box, a little funky town. But I think it's going to be fun to either draw on these, add some collage. I like it. I might have to think about a closure. I keep flipping it so the camera goes crazy. Okay, gosh, an hour and a half. Much longer for a Bricolage Daily. But I'm just working at my desk, figuring out some stuff and working with things that I've had in my mind that I wanted to get out and do something with. So I just brought you along with me. So hang in there. Have a great day. And I hope to see you next time. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. Bye for now.